Greetings everybody, John Tar here. This is my channel WikiGameGuides, and today we are checking out Mobius Final Fantasy. I've been hooked on this game. Totally hooked. This is a free-to-play turn-based RPG for the iPhone. I'm on the iPad right now, and Android, and it's based on a card collecting and job system that is built to really evolve and add many episodic chapters to the story over time. And I've loved turn-based JRPGs forever, but this is the fastest paced turn-based RPG I've ever played. And when you watch this gameplay in just a second, it won't even really look like a traditional turn-based RPG because of how insanely smooth and fluid the combat looks. So this is a free-to-play game with in-app purchases and no ads. And I've been playing a lot, and I feel I felt extremely low pressure to pay for in-game purchases, which is very refreshing to see. So now we're at the combat. So this game came out August 3rd internationally, and it came out June 2015 in Japan, which is kind of interesting considering how Japanese games have been released internationally recently. Published by Square Enix and developed by Square Enix. And the story is by Kazuhige, I'm sure I butchered that, Nojima, who was responsible for the Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy X stories, which are some of my favorite games of all time. So anyway, let's get into the combat. Nothing's happening. If you just tap the screen, it does a normal attack. And you'll see on the top bar, there's a red circle, 3 kind of golden circles, and 1 purple circle. And those represent element orbs. Every attack that you do, you gain an additional element orb, and when you chain multiple attacks together, you gain more element orbs over time. So now I have 4 yellow or earth element orbs, and I have enough element orbs to cast the earth sword ability, which you can see on the right. I'm not going to do that though, because the guy I'm attacking is also an earth-based enemy, so he is actually weak to the green wind-based skills, so I do not want to just waste my earth orbs on him. So this is a tournament. This is one of the bosses, actually, so this guy could end up being kind of difficult, and I'm on the hardest difficulty for this tournament right now, so I don't really know if I'm even going to beat any of these battles right here. If you look at his health bar, the green, the health bar by the enemy, the green is his health. The bar underneath it that's kind of blinking red, that is his break bar. If you drop that whole bar, he basically gets stunned for a round, and you get to throw 4 or 5 free attacks at him. So your intermediary goals are basically to get that down to nothing. So I have a whole bunch of earth orbs, and I know he's an earth guy, so what I'm going to do is tap in the bottom right, hold, and then spend those earth orbs as a resist spell, basically. So because I know that my earth spells aren't going to do jack against him, I'm going to use them as a defensive move instead. So now I'm just going to continue to attack and continue to drain his break meter. Cast another fire spell. And so now I'm just going to go at full pace and show you how quick this game really is. It does, like, when you get into the flow of this game, it does not feel like a turn-based game. And I said that before, and I should say it over and over again, because traditionally turn-based JRPGs, they're kind of slow. They're kind of really slow. So I'm going to use a healing spell there, heal myself a little bit. Now I'm going to open up with an element drive, which increases my resistance to earth. Oh crap, I wasn't paying attention. So this is a boss. He just switched his elemental affinity to water instead of earth. So I just basically wasted that. I should have used my earth spell. And now I have the blizzard ability available, but that's not going to do anything to him because he is water-based. And that means he's going to be weak to fire. So what I'm going to do now... Oh, why did I... Okay, I've had a couple beers. I don't even know how to use my finger on the iPad anymore. Alright, so let's get an elemental drive for water, so I resist water for the next 5 turns. And let's see if I can get some fire attacks going on this guy to really take advantage of his weakness. There we go. A lot of extra damage. I don't think I'm gonna live through this fight though. And I don't think it's because I'm an idiot. I think that it's because I'm just out leveled for this fight. But we'll see. I'll still do my best. Maybe I'll get a couple more heals and I'll be okay. So I'm gonna attack him a couple more times. One thing I should also point out is if the animations look super fast right now, in the top right, I'm clicking the fast forward button right now. It's going from play to fast forward. And if you're in the play mode, it goes a little bit slower. And it looks a little bit more natural. But after playing for a while, you'll realize, oh, you always want it on fast forward just to make the game go as quickly as possible. Now the game also has an auto attack mode, which I'll show in a second. And it's not really applicable for these boss fights because the auto attack mode really requires you, or eliminates any thought. It doesn't just blindly just do the basic attack over and over. It will use spells and stuff like that, but it's not particularly good. So the auto attack for a boss fight like this will almost guarantee a loss, whereas using my inebriated intelligence during this video will increase my chances of winning. So I don't think I'm gonna win. Well, I'll show a round of auto attack anyway. And this is really nice when you're fighting low level enemies. But it also kind of removes some of the challenge of the game because you may end up getting to a place where you've grinded out a lot of levels. You've over leveled a bit, so let's turn on auto attack. And there's a couple different settings. There's defense mode, attack mode, and then that little star means that the character will automatically use the ultimate ability. Oh boy, I'm almost dead here. Oh, I just healed. Okay, good. So it's just going back and forth and attacking as quickly as possible. And it looks like super cinematic when it's going like this. So I'm not touching the screen at all right now. The game's just going on its own. And I would be surprised if I win this battle. Oh, maybe not. Okay, I may actually win this. Oh my god, look how many fire spells I have to cast right now while he's broken. Wow, okay, I'm gonna win this fight. Easy. This isn't even gonna be close. So, if you just need to grind, what ends up happening is you turn on auto attack, you start a fight, you just let the game run on your phone for a minute or two while it just kind of runs sitting in the charger, and then you just kind of go from there. And it's, in a way, it feels like cheating, but the game is so simple and so fun to just play by tapping every time anyway that I think I started the game by doing a lot of auto attacks because this game is so, I shouldn't say so complicated, it's just very poorly explained. All the systems are very poorly explained in game, and it just made it easier to win because at some point in time the auto attack was better than me, and then when I understood the systems enough, I turned off the auto attack and I started doing everything on my own. So now I'm going to start explaining the card system. As you can see here, I have 5 different experience bars here. I'm level 18, which is my overall character level, and then I have 4 different cards in my deck for that one fight. I have over 100 cards right now that I've decided to keep, and they all have individual levels and experience, and gain experience in every single fight. You choose one primary card for every fight that gains bonus experience. So let's show off the deck building and experience stuff like that. And actually, you know what? Right now, I'm gonna Echo. Thank you, Echo. You know, my pet cactus there. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about what you can spend your money on in game, and the different ways that this game tries to get money out of you, and some of the other overarching systems, because I've shown the gameplay now. So on the top right of the screen, above my character's picture, you'll see that there is a little meter, a blue meter that says 65 to full, and then 5 hours and 44 minutes, and it's kind of counting down. So that is your Magicite meter. If I tap that little circle, I just earned 65 Magicite. And Magicite is the currency that you pay for in-game. So what that basically means is that with patience, any item in-game you can get for free. There is nothing in this game, at least so far, that I've seen that you have to spend money on. The meter in the top left, that's green and blue, that says 12 out of 47. That is your stamina. And every 5 minutes, I believe, oh, it's about to charge right now. Yes, every 5 minutes, you gain 1 additional stamina. And every fight requires anywhere between 5 and, well, this tournament requires 30-something stamina because it's 5 fights in a row. So this is kind of an interesting, very specific scenario. So those are the 2 things that you're going to pay for the most. Now let's take a look at the deck building and card system. So this is my primary deck right here. I just completed the main story and I'm on to kind of bonus extra credit stuff, I guess you would call it, doing all the extra additional challenges and stuff like that. So all of my cards were max level at level 21, and then after I completed the main story, they raised the level cap so I can grind these guys out and make them a little bit stronger. Every card can be swapped out for any card, and because of the job that I have, I can only use fire, water, and earth abilities. This job that I have chosen right now does not allow me to use wind abilities. So if I choose, let's say, a different version of this same mage job, I will have less speed. I'll go down from 4 stars to 3 stars in speed, which means that I get 3 attacks every turn instead of 4. So that's a big step backwards. So this white mage is pretty fantastic. But I don't have any, there are, as far as I've found so far, there are no wind mage spells. So if you look at this card, let's look at the stats for this one. This is the one that I had selected for that last match. This is the Onion Knight ability card. You choose 4 ability cards for every deck. God, this game, there are so many different systems. They lay them all on you at the beginning, and it's so poorly explained. So if some of this doesn't make sense right now, just have faith that after playing it for a couple hours, I'll be honest, that it'll start to kind of make a little bit of sense, and you'll wrap your mind around it and get to enjoy it and understand like how, like there's, God, so there's the overall ability card level system. There's your overall player level system. There are seeds that you unlock. There are extra abilities you can unlock within the ability card. I mean, there's just so many systems stacked on top of each other that it's overwhelming to understand which ones are actually important at the beginning of the game, and they just put too much on you. But it's really built for the long term. It's not built for just a quick, fun, simple experience. Let's take a look at my full deck. I have an earth ability, a fire ability, a healing ability, and a water ability. So I can basically take on any foe that comes my way. So if I know, let's take a look at what my next battle is going to be like. So this next semifinal match is going to be against an earth, the miasmatic lich. So what I should do is probably switch my job. I won't go into the next battle in this video because I want to, because it could take a while. I'll switch my job to the one that does the wind abilities so that I can take advantage of his weaknesses. Filter by wind and mage. Filter all my cards by wind and mage. So I'm going to choose this cockatrice spell here, which is a single target wind attack. And so that'll help me out a lot in the next fight. What else? Oh my god, there's so many different systems in this game. I should also, okay, I do want to point out something kind of interesting. I'm sure a lot of people have been feeling the pinch of battery life in games recently if you've been playing a lot of Pokemon Go. This game also absolutely destroys your phone or tablet's battery. But they actually have this setting right here, which I don't think I've ever seen in an iPad or iPhone game before. They have a frame rate slider and a resolution slider. So you can see when I go back to the main menu just how choppy and how crappy it looks versus how it was just a second ago. But I'm going to turn that back on. just because it's so like the low frame rate is really unbelievably frustrating. The resolution, I haven't done any tests to see if that actually does in fact save battery, but the slow frame rate really drives me insane. I should switching between playing on the iPad and the iPhone is very easy. It's tied to the Game Center. I haven't played this on Android yet, so I don't know if it's easy to switch between devices there. But I've been in plenty of situations where my iPhone battery died, and then I just picked it up right away and started playing on my iPad. The story is really funny, actually, and as someone who skips almost every in-game story, this game has actually kind of hooked me. The Mog character is really funny, and I actually enjoyed his plotline a lot. He's, you know, it took a while to get into it. It started off very kind of esoteric and bizarre, but then once I got into it, I enjoyed it a lot. What else? The auto combats, the complicated battle systems. So there are so many different systems involved with each card. So I have 85 ability cards ready to go and 34 extra cards in my bank that I've kind of saved for later. Every card you can, in addition to level up in combat with their overall level, you can fuse new things to them by fusing skill seeds to them, which means that basically every time you do a match, you earn points, you earn these skill seeds that can make your overall character, or that can make your overall job stronger. And basically what I'm trying to say is this is just another system within the game that just makes it even more complicated. So let's take a look. When you go to the Dex system, this was something that took me even a while to find, just because there were so many tutorials at the beginning that I kind of lost track. When you go to the skill panel, there are all of these passive upgrades when you're that job. So I need to earn 900 water skill seeds to be able to increase my HP by 100, which is a pretty significant amount. I've completed the first 2 tabs of the mage job skill seed, or skill panel I should say, and then every job has their own, like there are so many different things to level up in this game that if you really like that kind of grind, you could play this forever. Maybe not forever, but for a really long time. There's so many different things to level up. Changing jobs, you start off with 3 different jobs. There's a warrior, a ranger, and a mage. And then I also bought 1 extra job. And you know what? I actually have the currency to buy another job right now. There's 12 jobs total. Let's go to the shop and go to the... So in the ability shop, right here, you can buy more abilities with ability cards. Ability cards come fairly regularly, and these are the best version of the ability that you use in game, whether it's fire or Faraga, or let's see, what are the 3 different versions of fire? I'm drawing Faraga, Fyra, and fire. So this is another thing that they don't even explain in the tutorial. If you kind of press and hold for a second, you can see more details about these ability cards before you buy them. In the shop, now let's go to the, whoops, that was the ability shop. Let's go to the summon cards. Summon cards are very, very valuable. It costs, man, I've probably only got 10 total summon cards this entire time I've played. And it costs 5 summon cards to buy a job. And I've bought 1 job so far. I have not purchased, I don't think I've purchased, unless I did it very early on and I didn't realize the value of these summon cards. So let's buy another job. See if I get something good. I really like the mage class so far. Come on, fingers crossed, or else we're gonna have to wait a week to buy another one. Come on, mage. Come on, mage. Another warrior class. Well, that's my second favorite. Maybe I'll level this one up. Alright, job type, warrior. Features enhanced normal attacks at the cost of lower magic prowess. Arc slash. Cone attack slashes. Okay, well. Okay, well, that seems pretty good. I don't know, I'll have to test it out. I was really hoping for a mage, but I don't have it. Oh, so I also should talk about the overall map. So I'm on, this is chapter 2 right here. Chapter 1 and 2 are now available in the US, and chapter 3, 4, and 5 are out in Japan, and will hopefully be available soon in the US. And in chapter 2 here, where's the starting point? I believe you start here in the bottom left in the Ishtar Desert. And then chapter 2 is actually quite a bit more interesting as a map to explore than chapter 1. You really have to kind of find your way through this desert. And, you know, you can see those routes there, and you have to do a lot more exploring per se. Now, it's not the traditional Final Fantasy where you are moving your character around. You're just clicking, oh, I want to go to this next checkpoint, or this next X, or this next open circle to go there next, and then do the battle there, and then it kind of activates the cutscene. It's not, I mean, it sacrifices that open world exploring element that you might have from Final Fantasy 7 or 10 or something like that, to make it easier to play on the iPad. So it does, you know, in a way, you don't get to explore every nook and cranny in the way that it was so fun to do in Final Fantasy 7, just to find those cool items, but it kind of has to make it playable, to make it easily playable on the iPad. Now, there are some walking around moments, but they are few and far between, and quite frankly, not even worth mentioning here. I do want to talk about what you do get for your money if you do decide to spend actual genuine cash in this game. So Magicite, the items, or the item that you spend real money on. So let's see. For $10, you get 1,500 Magicite. For $19, you get 3,000 Magicite. If I was going to buy anything, which I have not done yet and I'm not planning on doing in this game, I would buy the Mobius gift box, which is something that you can only buy once every 30 days. It gives you a 30% skill seed bonus, a 50% skill seed bonus for 30 days, which is probably the best part of this whole thing. And it gives you quite a few other items like Phoenix Downs and elixirs, which boost your overall, or which recharge your overall stamina if you want to keep playing. And they do give you quite a few elixirs, I think 10 plus at the beginning of the game, so you can play for hours and hours and hours without running out of stamina. And you also get some other level up items, but this skill seed boost, I think, is probably the most valuable part of this Mobius gift box. And it costs, how much does it cost? It costs 3,000 Magicite, which is, what was that equivalent? So yeah, that's almost 20 bucks. So that's a lot of money to immediately jump into for a free-to-play game. So I've been holding off on spending any real money on this game so far. I feel like most free-to-play games kind of make that initial purchase hurdle a bit lower. If it was 10 bucks to get that box and get that passive bonus for every time I go into battle to earn those extra skill seeds, I think I would do it. 20 bucks, I don't know. That seems like a lot, especially when Final Fantasy 15 is coming out in September. And I'm really looking forward to that too. But anyway, so I think that's all I really have to say right now. I'm really enjoying the hell out of this game. I recommend checking it out. Click the link in the description if you want to download it. And if you have any questions about this video, be sure to let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and game on.